How many hours a week do you read for pleasure?
I probably read about 1 hour a week.
I don't read at all for pleasure.
At most, I probably read about 2 hours a week. Just things I read on the internet, like different blogs, and just to gain facts and become more knowledgeable about things that am interested in.
I can't stop reading.
About 169.
Do you think people read enough?
I don't feel that people read enough, only because that sometimes when we're faced with different novels in class, people often struggle with the analysis portion, and it's because they don't devote enough time to actually read the book and understand the context.
No, people don't read enough, and they should because it makes them more educated.
No, but I think they should because it engages your mind.
No, because reading can increase one's vocabulary exponentially while also helping in the pursuit of knowledge and lining my wallet.
Which is better, ebooks or paperback books, and why?
I think ebooks are better because you can carry several books with you and they don't take up as much space.
Paperback, because smelling a book is way better than just like reading it. I don't know if that sounds weird, but like the smell of a book is just it's real. I don't know.
Books. About books. Books. Right. Books. Books.
Paperback for sure, just because you actually have the tangible copy in your hands and you can feel the pages turn between your fingers. It's not the same as sliding on a greasy screen.
I believe ebooks are better because I can always have them on my phone or on my tablet, and I can have as many as can fit on my storage device, and they're nowhere near as hefty as lugging around a couple books with you at one point in time.
Paperback books. Because the government, if we had them online, could at any point take them away from us, and that would ruin our education as we know it.
If you had no technology for a week, what would you do?
I would go outside more. If I didn't have any technology, I would be bored, and I would write a lot more, because that's kind of like making your own technology.
I would spend time with my friends or play sports.
I would hang out outside, get some color my pale skin, read a book.
Well, I spend a lot of time working, so I'd probably work, but in my free time, I would definitely read more Harry Potter or Hunger Games or a series that I've read once before.
I would honestly probably lose my mind because as we've grown up in our generation, we've always had technology, and that's what we've known. So that's what we've grown to use as we get older, and we'll probably always be dependent on it.
Nothing would change.
Do you think society is too dependent upon technology?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure how to answer that. In the short, I would say yes, because I always see people concentrated on their phones whenever they're walking around. People don't notice things like they would if they didn't know that they had their phone and were constantly checking, for Twitter notifications, Facebook posts, and texts. But at the same time, I like to think that we're not because how much it helps, and that's why people do use it so much.
Yes, I do. I think more people are like wanting to like text people and call them instead of like have face-to-face conversations, and there's just like decreasing human interaction.
Yes, because often, way too often in society, like, I'll give you an example. I went to chorus the other day with my boyfriend, and we were sitting next to these two teenage girls, and they literally sat there the entire time just on their cell phones, Snapchatting and taking selfies of one another and sending them to their friends. And I don't think they embarked on one conversation. And I just think that conversation and the art of communication is so just ignored and not fully utilized to its full potential. And so people are definitely divulging into the art of technology and forgetting about what's really important, and that's communicating with one another.
No, I don't think that we're too dependent on technology. I think that's kind of like an antiquated way to look at things, because technology has developed since the beginning of time, obviously, and it would make no sense to not adapt to it. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Technology stopped being a luxury and it started being a necessity. And because it's so unpredictable, instead of losing something that we didn't need, now we lose something that we hold dear to us.
Oh, incredibly handsome Mr. Bradbury. Why did you write the book Fahrenheit 451?
I wrote it to open people's eyes to the problems of today. Instead of striving for education, people are striving for ignorance. The phrase, ignorance is bliss, comes to mind. People are often trying to shut off their minds instead of turning them on and spreading out their emotion and their knowledge to everyone else.
What can readers learn from your book, Fahrenheit 451?
That interpersonal communication is key, and that when you use too much technology, you'll stop thinking for yourself and start thinking as a machine.
I hear the drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards self.